So tight at the top of the table over in League One, with Portsmouth still leading the charge, with Bolton, Peterborough, Derby all within striking distance of getting themselves into the automatics. Who will be there at the end of this weekend? We're going to take a little look next. Today we take a look at match number 30, of course, over in League One, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for League One continues right here at Blackburn Rovers Seas. Of course, we've also got world football, Rovers content, all here under one roof here, of course. But can anybody stop bloody Portsmouth from running away with it? Of course, Bolton can actually be top of the table with a win and a little bit of lady luck going their way. We'll see if they could do it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, hit the old subscribe. Your one-stop shop continues. And we are back with, of course, an update to the Prediction League. Of course, we'll get to that in a minute. Of course, let's take a look back at last weekend's results and then we'll jump into the numbers. That's right. So here we go then. Blackpool against Charlton. Of course, I think they're managerless Charlton. Of course, Afton no more. 2-0 win was my pick. 1-1 draw in the end. Bristol Rovers with a 3-1 win over Oxford United. I went with a draw myself on that one. Cambridge 0-0 draw against Burton. Of course, I went with the 1-0 win as well. Shocker Rooney. Bolton with a big 4-1 win over Carlisle. I went with a 2-1 win. Pretty good on that one. Derby 2-1 winners over Cheltenham. I went with a 2-0 win. Ain't too shabby there. Of course, Exeter with a surprise win on the road to Barnsley. 2-1 win on that one. I went with a 3-1 win the other way. Meanwhile, Orient and Reading, or Reading and Orient 1-1 draw. Of course, got them a spot on the nose. Lincoln did draw with Peterborough. A good result for Lincoln on that one. A slipped opportunity there for Peterborough. Meanwhile, Northampton Town against Shrewsbury. A 2-0 win for the Shrews on that one. I went with a 2-1 win the other way. Port Vale against Portsmouth was a 1-0 win for the visitors. I got a 2-0 win on my eyes. We got Stevenage 3-2 victors over Wigan. I went with a draw on that one as well. And then, of course, Wycombe and Fleetwood 2-2 in the end. Not great on my eyes, but my picks. But of course, let's take a look at the table as we are here. Of course, Pompey leading the charge, 3 points clear over Bolton. Then it's Peterborough, Derby, Barnsley, and then Oxford. Don't rule out Stevenage or even Blackpool for a push for those top 6 spots. So forget about Wigan; they're a good 10 points adrift on that one. And then you're looking at Northampton and then Leyton. I think they're just a little bit out of it. Meanwhile, going down, I still believe it's actually what we're looking at here, because Wigan are in 13th. Reading are in 21st spot right now, 3 points adrift. We have Cheltenham, Carlisle, and then Fleetwood are going to go down at the moment. That's going to all change, though, very, very much so over the next few days. So let's take a little look, first and foremost, at a recap of our Prediction League. So here we go, if I got it right. So this is what we left you with, I believe, before we went on a bit of a mad travelling stuff. Blue Jack Plays and James Peterborough FC were tied at 84 points. Of course, Frosty was next up with Swindon Derby and then the chasing pack. But this is what I have you with you right here, right now. Of course, some of you guys were vigilant and stuck with it, and some of you not so much. We've got James Peterborough FC top of the charts, Frosty's in second, Swindon Derby's in third, Blue Jack Plays all the way down into 5th. That's right. But of course, it can all change as well as we're back. We're back at our full glory, and of course, hopefully, we're back to some normality with the Prediction League. So let's get into the next round of games, because here are they. Corman, we're going to jump in the deep end right here, right now. By looking at the first one, it is Oxford, it is Reading. There may or may not be games going on around the grounds right here, right now. Well, I don't think there are, actually. But anyway, Oxford against Reading coming at you at the Kazam. Now, these two sides have played each other 7 times since 1986. 2 wins for Oxford, 4 for Reading, 1 draw, of course. Now, the biggest win for Oxford, 3-0 win, scoring 8 goals, of course, of those 7 games, 1.14 goals a game. Meanwhile, Reading, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 11 goals in those 7 matches, 1.57 goals a game as well. They're on 50% form. Are Reading right now, winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 2. They are 21st in the table with 27 points on the board. Against the Oxford Town, Oxford United side, they are 25% form right now. Just 1 win to 6. 6th in the table right now. They are free falling like a stone outside the playoffs. But they're hanging on in there by dear life right now. Last time around, they're over in the Kazam. It was a 2-0 win for Reading. That was back in August 2004. Goodness gracious me. That was in the EFL Cup. The last time they played each other in the league in Reading was way back in September 1997. I think this could be a little bit of a rivalry as well. Local rivalry. A bit of a derby perhaps. 5-4 on is your Oxford here. 16-5 is your Reading. 14-5 is your draw. I don't see it. I think I did go with Oxford here. But I think Reading could give them a game. I really do think they could give it. I don't really like the management setup at Oxford. I think it's gonna not work out for them in the end. I do not think they're going to make the playoffs with this appointment, which is a shame, because I'd love to see Oxford United in the Championship. But they'll win this one. just about, but of course it could go either way. Meanwhile, Bolton against Barnsley, a bit of a zing-zong affair over at the Reebok, or whatever they call it these days, Boundary Park, whatever it is. 26 times they played each other since 1983. We've got 9 wins for Bolton, 5 wins for Barnsley, 12 draws, of course, the biggest win for Bolton. 3-0 wins, scoring 43 goals in 26 matches, 1.65 goals a game. Barnsley, though, 3-0 win, their biggest, 37 goals scored in 26 matches, 1.42 goals a game. They're on 67% form, our Barnsley right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 5th with 52 points on the board. Meanwhile, of course, Bolton coming at you, 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. They are second with 57 points on the board at the moment. Last time these two sides played in Bolton, it was a 1-1 draw back in May 2023. A quick look at the odds on this one then, shall we? Got Bolton 11-10 for the victory, 13-5, of course, is your draws, 3-1 is your long shots. That's Barnsley here. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Bolton on this one to take the 3 points, and away they go. Meanwhile, Burton taking on Lincoln, coming at you over at the Pirelli. Now, these two sides have played each other 13 times, 2009. 7 wins for Burton, 5 for Lincoln, 1 draw, of course. Now, the biggest win for Burton, 3-0 win, scoring 17 goals in 13 matches, 1.31 goals a game, of course. Meanwhile, Lincoln, 5-1 win, the biggest, scoring 15 goals in those 13 matches, 1.15 goals a game as well. Burton coming at you right here, right now. 3-0 win last time around at the Pirelli back in the Boxing Day 2022. The odds for this one, 13-8 is, of course, your Burton, 11-5 is the draw, 13-8 is also your Lincoln on this one. The bookies think it's a draw. I think it's a draw. 1-1 in the end. Point apiece on this one. Charlton up against Derby, coming at you at Vale, the Valley, that's right. 27 times they played each other since 1993. We've got 6 wins for Charlton. We've got 14 wins for Derby. 7 draws, of course. Charlton without a manager, I believe, after Appleton's dismissal. 3-0 win, their biggest, scoring 29 goals in those 27 matches, 1.07 goals a game. Derby, though, 3-0 win, the biggest, 41 goals scored in 27 matches, 1.52 goals a game. Derby on 58% form for them at the minute, of course, winning 3 and losing a couple over the last 6. They are 4th with 56 points on the board, up against the Charlton side, who free-falled all the way down to 18th at the table with 31 points on the board, just 17% form for them. Haven't won in the last 13 matches. Last time around, they're over in Charlton. It was a 1-0 win for Charlton back in August 2022, but the odds here for this one, 13-5 is Charlton, 20-19 on is your Derby, and 5-2 is, of course, the draw here. Going to go with Derby here, 2-0 win for them. They look unstoppable right now. I think they are destined for a playoff spot, maybe more. We'll see about that as well. Cheltenham up against Wycombe Wanderers, coming at you over in Cheltenham. Now, these two sides have played each other 26 times since 2002. Got 7 wins for Cheltenham. We got 8 wins for Wycombe, 11 draws, of course. Cheltenham, though, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 39 goals in 26 matches, 1.50 goals a game. Wycombe, though, 4-1 win, their biggest, scoring 38 goals in 26 matches, 1.46 goals a game. They're on 58% form, are Wycombe right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 19th with 31 points on the board. Against Cheltenham, who are 22nd with 23 points on the board, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in 5 heading into this one. Though last time around in Cheltenham, it was a 1-0 win for Cheltenham, who are unbeaten against Wycombe over the last 3, picking up a couple of wins and a monstrous 5-5 draw way back when. But the odds for this one, though, we're looking at Cheltenham 13-8 for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, 13-8 also your Wycombe. The bookies think it's a draw. I gone with a 1-0 win for Cheltenham here, just nicking it on this one, as Wycombe's form is good, but Cheltenham trying to make that home form decent to try and get some results in the end. Meanwhile, Exeter against Bristol, Rovers coming in Exeter, played each other 22 times, these two sides, 2003. We've got 11 wins for Exeter, 6 for Bristol Rovers, 5 draws, of course. Exeter with a 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 43 goals in 22 matches, 1.95 goals a game. On average, Bristol Rovers, though, 3-1 win, their biggest, 31 goals scored in 22 games, 1.41 goals a game. Bristol Rovers on 1 win in the last 6. They're on 25% form for them right now. They are 11th with 37 points on the board. Against the Exeter side, bit of an uptick on form under Gary Caldwell. Just 1 defeat in the last 5, now 58% form. They've climbed up to 14th with recent form as well. Last time around, over in Exeter, was a 2-2 draw back in October 2022. But the odds here, 15-8 is your hosts here, 7-5 is your visitors, 12-5 is the draw here. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Bristol Rovers. Let's look at the form book. I probably would again reverse that for a win for Exeter, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Stevenage, they're going to be taking on Blackpool. That's right, over in Stevenage. Now, these two sides have played each other 3 times in 2016. 3 wins out of 3 for Blackpool. Of course, and they're coming in with a big 3-0 win, their biggest, scoring 6 goals in total, 2 goals a game on average, of course. Stevenage, yet to get a win, yet to get a goal, and they come into this on 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6. They are 7th at the table, are Stevenage, 49 points on the board right now, back-to-back wins for them, up against the Blackpool side on 75% form for them. They're 8th at the table with 46 points on the board, of course, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Last time around, though, over in Stevenage, it was a 2-0 win for Blackpool back in December 2016, but the odds here, we have Stevenage coming at you, 5-4 for the victory, 2-1 is your Blackpool, 12-5 is your draw here. I'm going to go with a draw here, point apiece, of course, which of course will keep them both in the mix for the playoffs, but no real progress, none the same. Meanwhile, Fleetwood up against Port Vale, coming at you over in Fleetwood. Now, these two sides have played each other 13 times since 2012. We've got 4 wins for Fleetwood, 6 for Port Vale, 3 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Fleetwood, 2-0 win, scoring 15 goals in those 13 matches, 1.15 goals a game. Up against the Port Vale side, 5-2 win, the biggest, 18 goals scored in 13 matches, 1.38 goals a game. Port Vale under Crosby, 33% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6. They are 20th with 30 points on the board. Against the Fleetwood Town side under Charlie Adam, 24th in the table, 19 points on the board, 8% form for them. Haven't won in the last 14 matches. Grim stuff, of course. Last time around, though, in Fleetwood, it was a 1-1 draw back in March 2023. Of course, looks like Fleetwood are going down. Of course, 17-10 is your Fleetwood, 31-20 is your Port Vale, and 23-10 is the draw here. Going to go with another 1-1 draw, point at the bag. Not good enough. Fleetwood need the results, and they need wins and fast. The Orient up against Carlisle, coming at Brisbane Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 35 times since 2002. We've got 14 wins for Orient, 10 wins for Carlisle, 11 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Leyton Orient was a 4-0 win, scoring 55 goals in 35 matches, 1.57 goals a game. Against Carlisle, though, 4-1 win, their biggest, scoring 46 goals in 35 matches, 1.31 goals a game. Carlisle on 17% form for them right now. Grim stuff, just 1 win in the last 6. They are 23rd with 20 points on the board. Against the Orient side, who are flying high in 10th, 39 points on the board, 83% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. Last round over in Brisbane Road, it was a 1-0 win for Orient. That was back in April 2023. Of course, that was last season in League 2. They've also played each other this year twice already. One in Carlisle, one in Brisbane Road. Back-to-back wins. There's actually been 4 wins on the bounce for Orient against Carlisle. They played each other in the league, in the opening for one of the early fixtures, but also in the cup, where Orient picked up a 3-1 win last round. But the odds right here right now, the Orient 6-4 on for the victory, 92 is your Carlisle, 5-2 is your draw here, 2-1 win for the Orient. They're going to continue their winning display, and of course, moving up closer to the playoffs. Meanwhile, Peterborough against Wigan Athletic coming at you over in Peterborough. Now, these two sides have played each other 8 times, 2003. We've got 3 wins for Peterborough, 2 for Wigan, 3 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for the Posh was the 2-1 win, scoring 11 goals in those 8 games, 1.38 goals a game. Meanwhile, Wigan, 2-1 win, the biggest, scoring 10 goals in 8 games, 1.25 goals a game on average. Wigan under Maloney now, 42% form for them right now, 2 wins in the last 6. They are 13th with 34 points on the board against the Peterborough side, who are 3rd, 56 points on the board, of course, unbeaten in the last 5 matches, 75% form for them at the moment. Last round over in Peterborough, it was a 2-1 win for the Posh back in February 2021, but the odds here, we have Peterborough coming at you 2-1 on for the victory, 16-5 is your draw, 11-2 is your Wigan here. Going to go with the home banker here, 2-0 win for the Posh on this one. And then, kicking on forward, it is the table toppers, Portsmouth against Northampton Town, coming at Fratton Park. Now, these two sides have played each other 15 times, 2003. We've got 9 wins for Portsmouth, 5 for Northampton, 1 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Pompey was a 4-0 win, scoring 28 goals in 15 matches, 1.87 goals a game. Northampton, though, 4-1 win, their biggest, scoring 17 goals in those 15 matches, 1.13 goals a game as well. Last round over in fact, Northampton on 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They are 9th with 40 points on the board, up against a Portsmouth side, who are top with 60 points, unbeaten in the last 3, but they are on 58% form for them as well. Last round over in Pompey, it was a 4-0 win for Portsmouth back in October 2020, but the odds here, we have 50-8 on is your Portsmouth, 16-5 the draw, 90-4 is your away win here on this one. We're going to go with, of course, them for Portsmouth, 2-1 win for them at home to maintain the top of the league status. And then wrapping up is Shrewsbury, it is Cambridge, it's coming at you over at Shrewsbury, played the 13 times, 2002, we got 4 wins apiece and 5 draws, the biggest win for the Shrews. Salop was a 5-1 win for them, 17 goals scored in 13 matches, 1.31 goals against Cambridge, 5-0 win, the biggest, scoring 14 goals in 13 matches, 1.08 goals again. Cambridge on 33% form for them right now, just 1 win in 6. They are 16th for the day with 32 points on the board. Up against a Shrewsbury Town side on 33% form for them, also 2 wins in the last 6. They are 15th at the table with 33 points on the board as well. Last round over in Shrewsbury, it was a 5-1 win for the Shrews back in January 2023, but the odds right here right now, we're looking at Shrewsbury 29-20 for the victory, 23-10 is the draw, 9-5 is your away win, of course. Shrewsbury going to get another win here, 1-0 win for them to get themselves out of trouble and moving away from into safety. That's, of course, my take on it, guys. What about my the table? Well, it will look like this if I'm right. Of course, Pompey, Bolton, Peterborough, Derby, Oxford, and then Barnsley. Going down, Vale, Cheltenham, Carlisle, and then Fleetwood. That's, of course, my picks. Make sure you smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell. We'll go again, guys, for League 2, and don't forget to get your picks in for the Prediction League. The link should be in the chat, if you're in the description down below, if you haven't done so already. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one. Be safe out there, and, of course, subscribe.